Supercross live on supercrossonline.com. Kevin Barnett and Jim Holley. This is Las Vegas, the final round. Jim, it didn't seem like this would come up quite as quickly as it has back when we started at the beginning of January, but here we sit. End of the year, 450 is decided. Ryan Villopoto, of course, three-time champion, but the 250 class is extremely interesting in the 250s for East and West.
Well, and we can't forget about that East-West shootout. I don't know if I'm more excited for that East-West shootout or crowning a champion on the East and the West, but needless to say, it's going to be great.
Yeah, 5 points separating both riders on both sides, and we're talking about Marvin Musquin and Will Hahn on the East Coast, and then on that West Coast, Ken Roczen and Eli Tomac. Interestingly enough, both riders from both the same teams. So does this set up any sort of team controversy? Will there be some mean looks?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, I think if you're Kenny Roczen, you got to forget about what happened in Salt Lake City last week, and you got to focus in on this week. And the main focus here is just to be ahead of that number one. I mean, you can have a little bit of a leeway if number one's leading and you're number two, and you got a 5-point lead, you're going to win that championship by 2. So, I mean, I think that's what Kenny Roczen's focus is. On the other side, on the East, I mean, if you're Marvin Musquin, you want to go out there, you want to collect $1,000 from Nuclear Cowboys for getting that hole set, and you want to check out, and you want to hope that Will Hahn got a bad start, and he's going to have some help, because if he if he gets second behind him, he's going to win that championship. So I mean, it's just I think on both the East and the West, there's going to have to be a little help for Eli Tomac to win the championship, and there's going to have to be a little help for Marvin Musquin to win that championship.
Who are the guys you think we should watch on the West Coast for getting in between those two riders, Tomac and Roczen?
Well, I mean, obviously last week Jason Anderson winning his first. You've seen what happens when guys win their first. They seem to kind of duplicate it the following weekend.
It's happened this year twice with Will Hahn and Marvin Musquin both.
Right. So I mean, Jason Anderson, that's going to be a guy that be Cole Seeley. He had a good ride last weekend. And then on the other, the East Coast side of things, I mean, Blake Wharton's won an event. And Blake Wharton's been a thorn in both of those guys' sides. So you got to worry about Blake Wharton and some of the other guys. Tyler Bowers, he was looking good. He's filling in on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit ride. So Bowers looks for redemption. He wants to get on the podium here. He wants to win one also. So we'll see what happens.
We don't want to completely gloss over the 450 class as far as that goes. What about this last race? These guys are looking towards an outdoors situation. Ryan Villopoto already has the championship, but there's still a battle for second and third between Millsaps and Dungey.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing about Ryan Villopoto. In years past when he's won the championship, he's won 9. He has never won 10 races in a season.
So there's still motivation there.
There is, and there's a big bonus check. I mean, why not? I mean, you just have, if you're Ryan Villopoto, you got the championship in hand, it's already wrapped up, you're worried about the outdoors, you want to be healthy for that because, last year he didn't ride the outdoors. You got to see how the start goes. If you go out there and you get that start and you collect $1,500 from Nuclear Cowboys and you go out there and you run your race and some of those other guys have a bad time, but I think if push comes to shove and we see exactly what we saw in Salt Lake City, I don't know if Villopoto will be pushing it as hard as Millsaps and Dungey.
Okay, plenty of storylines to watch as we wrap up the 2013 Monster Energy Supercross Championship. 250 East, 250 West. Remember, those riders come out and ride the main event right away. Then they have an opportunity to go to that East-West shootout.
Yeah, and don't forget, Kevin, I thought it was very interesting in the press conference yesterday. They announced the new season for 2013.
Right.
Some new venues. We're going back to Detroit, but I'm really excited about going to New York.
Yeah, back to Detroit. Ford Field going to be the site of that event. Going to be an exciting year. Remember, if you join Cross Club even this weekend, you will get first shot at tickets. That coming up on Monday. But we have a big Saturday planned for you. We have not 3 hours of live streaming. We have 3 hours and 45 minutes of live streaming practice for you. Of course, we have the KTM Juniors out there as well as the 250 riders from both coasts and the 450 riders. We'll have lots of special guests and things happening as we wrap up the season and embark on another wonderful evening of racing. So we'll have that plus AMSOIL podium interviews. Kevin and Jim got you covered all day here in Las Vegas.